Hello learners, welcome to this another session of Certificate in Fashion Design program. So today we are here to discuss about the unit 8 of this particular course, Basics of Pattern Making and Sewing. It is coded as BFDI 072, and today we will discuss unit 8, which is part of block 2 and named as Steps for Garment Construction. In the earlier session, we discussed about the unit 7 of this particular block. In this session, we will discuss about the selection and preparation of fabrics, how we select the fabric, different types of fabrics are there, so how we can select the fabric for garment construction and how we will prepare it for the cutting and process of garment construction. Then we will discuss about the types of fabric layout, marking and cutting, that there are different types of layout we use for the garment construction. So we will discuss the importance of layout and the types of layout which we use in the garment construction, different marking we do on the layout, and in the cutting process we will discuss about that. There are different factors affecting the choice of seam types, like which we have different types of seam we have discussed. So which type of seam we will use for which type of fabric and what factors affect the choice of seam type, we will discuss about that. Factors determining the width of seam allowance, how many, it is important to know what amount of seam allowance should be given and what factors determines that. We will discuss about the characteristics of well constructed seam, how the well constructed seams are and what is should be the basic characteristics of that seam. And lastly, we will discuss seam types of for different fabric, like for different fabric we had different types of seam. So what different types of seams we will use for fabric, we will discuss in this particular session. After going through this units, it is you will be able to learn, or you will able to state that describe the criteria which is used, which we use for the fabric selection. Like this particular unit, you will learn how you will select different types of fabric, what criteria you should follow when you are selecting a fabric, and uh, what all construction methods you should follow when you are going to construct a garment. Then you can demonstrate and explain the steps in preparing fabrics for cutting and sewing. Like there are different steps we follow when we are using the fabric for garment construction, and before cutting and sewing we use different types of steps. So what steps are there, what you should use when you are cutting the fabric and over when you are stitching the fabric, and what is the importance of that particular step, you can know from this unit. Then you can identify and list different layout types. So layout is of a fabric before construction of garment is very important to minimize the wastage of fabric. So you can know the importance of layout. There are different types of layout we use, you can know them. And lastly, you can explain the or know the factors which govern the seam selection. Like we have different types of seams and we have different types of fabrics, so how you can correlate the seam and fabric and select the good seam for a particular fabric, you can know when you go through this unit, and you can do the garment construction very easily. First we should know talk about what is fabric. So fabric, the which is made up of yarns, we generally use what all our garments are made of, it is said as the fabric. Then what is the how we will select the fabric and what is the process for the selection